Okay, welcome back. So we are going to be talking about programming for speed and gains, how to integrate strength training into your running program, okay? And this is all about building the strong runner. So the core of what this program is about is clearly the how to strength train, okay? We covered the why, hopefully, how to strength train, and then how to integrate that with your running as well. Going to try and hit this across the broad spectrum of the runners that I know I work with, from really serious kind of marathon types who are training for events quite hard, to guys who are just trying to get back to running and doing the odd run here and there. Okay, trying to hit a bit of everything, and I'll try to be specific around the advice I give depending on where you are. So let's jump straight in. So where are you? What is the starting point for you? Are you in what I would call the sort of consolidation phase? That would be that red line. Or are you in a performance zone in terms of your running? And the way I tend to think about this is kind of the base and then a focus. So base zone, which I'm in at the moment, actually, as we kind of run up to the end of the year, which is, I'm doing 2 to 3 runs a week, but with no real focus. So the run is all about just trying to get out and enjoy it, really. I focus on measuring time and distance, but I'm not pushing the time or pushing the distance necessarily. A little bit longer, a little bit faster, but there's no real focus there. I'm just getting my runs in. That's what I would consider base, okay? Or are you in a focused event mode, basically, where you're in a run-up to an event, you're following a pretty strict program, you're trying to improve across your kind of performance sessions, you're making sure you're doing your interval work, you're making sure you're getting faster in different zones, you're doing your tempo, you're doing thresholds, and you're doing your long runs with a high level of commitment. Where are you in that zone? Or maybe you're looking to try to get into base and you're still kind of struggling with meeting 1 or 2 runs a week and it feels painful. Okay, so where are you? Because I think that's going to impact how you integrate any strength program or any changes basically to your routine, any new things, how that's going to be integrated. And we're going to go through a couple of examples. So depending on where you are in terms of the end of the spectrum, hopefully it will make sense and you can go away and apply this to your own system. It's not going to be perfect. Obviously, you can follow the template exactly. That's fine if your life allows it. But I appreciate, depending on what everyone is with their training, their life, family, blah, 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 you're going to take away different things from this and you're going to implement different things, which is absolutely fine. I think personalization and accountability is really, really important. So let's go for base. So if you're in that base zone, you're doing a few runs a week, but you don't really have a clear focus on your run. You're not training for a marathon, half marathon, and you're not, being focused. Then how you might integrate your strength program is like this. So what I've laid out here, and this is a templated kind of easy running program. You might be doing a little bit more, a little bit less than this if you're in that base zone, but it's kind of built around 3 or 4 runs a week. With less of a focus, less of a kind of ramp up to the event, the performance zone. You might be doing a progression run, a couple of easy runs. You might be doing a park run. You might be doing a longer run. Okay, so that's kind of what I want you to think about. If you're in this zone, then this is what you might do. So what you might do is lay out your 3 strength sessions and really focus on those 3 strength sessions, because remember, you're not in an event zone. So, you're buying into this program, hopefully you're buying into doing the strength and actually getting the gains. So we're switching focus onto strength, which means the running maybe will take a little bit of a step down until you then cycle into an event. And I'll talk about phasing and cycling as we come through, because I think it's really, really important. So instead of your Monday rest day, you're going to do strength. Hit the ground running with the week. You can do first session on a Monday. Tuesday, you're going to leave for your running. Wednesday, you've got it down as easy run cross training, so that's going to be swapped out for your second strength session. Thursday, you're going to leave as your another easy steady state run, whatever. And then Friday, you can do your third strength session. So in your working week, you have achieved quite a lot. You've got 3 strength sessions and 2 runs, which is actually what I try and do at the moment in a kind of base phase. Monday, Tuesday strength, Wednesday run, Thursday strength, Friday run, if my life allows it. And then the weekend, I try and hit a long run if I have time. And that's what I've left here as well. So you've left that weekend alone, so you kind of do what you need to do your park runs or your long run as you see fit. That's an approach to integrating the strength program with your running. If you are more of a performance person and you're leading up to a marathon, whatever event it is that you do, then you might look to do something like this. So we've got our templated, we're on a program, which is a good start. And we've got our interval run on a Tuesday, easy run Wednesday, threshold on a Thursday, Friday's a rest day, Saturday we're doing recovery run the strides, and then Sunday is our long run, our kind of like, racy type performance zone. What we might be doing this scenario if this is kind of an event prep template that you're working to. Again, Monday, we're going to swap out this cross-training rest day core stuff with our first strength session. And then we're going to go for Wednesday. Again, we're going to take out the easy run, the cross-training stuff, and we'll put our strength session there. And then Saturday, you're going to sacrifice that recovery run, that stride run, for your third session. And that's a nice way to space it out. It means you're going into your long run, having done a strength session, which is tough. I'm not going to pretend it's not, but absolutely doable. And in some ways, you're going to challenge yourself in different ways, having just coming off the back of a strength session on the Saturday. And that still gives you kind of rest periods and times when you're not running, let's put it like that. And then as you ramp right up towards the event, then you might drop down to 2 strength sessions or even 1 strength session with some mobility, flexibility work, etc. And you can take out either the second or the third session, or even the first session, depending on how your life is set up, and look to kind of integrate more running, more mobility, more performance work as you lead up to that event. And then before, obviously, you taper. This isn't relevant for tapering. I haven't really covered that because I think tapering is something very different. It's its own unique thing. So phasing and cycling, which I think is the most important part to this, and hopefully this will help you to individualize the information that I've shared with you. So we've got, by definition, you can only have one focus. It's like priorities. You can't have lots of priorities. By the word means to have one thing that you're following. Okay, so competing priorities I always find is a bit of an interesting term to use, and you hear about that a lot. Okay, you need to decide what the focus is, and you can only have one focus per cycle. And I speak to lots of guys who don't really think in these cycle terms, phasing. They just kind of do stuff. I would encourage you to take a step back, especially if you're now considering implementing a proper strength program, which hopefully you are after everything I bang on about. And you can see the benefits of that. How long are you going to do it for? Okay, let's deal with the first bit, which is what is the focus going to be? Is it going to be that base period? Are you going to really focus on muscle building, or is it running performance or something else? What is the focus at the moment? What are you going to focus on for this next block? What is this phase that you're now in? Is it a fat loss phase? I haven't covered that in there, but that could be a clear focus for you if that's required. So what's the focus? And then how long are you going to have this focus for? Because we need to chunk it down. Okay, and we need to cycle through to get the maximum benefits, especially if you're a serious runner and you've got events coming up and that sort of thing as well. And this is exactly what I will do. So after Christmas, I'll be training for the marathon, and I will go into that running performance block for 3 months probably. So the second part is, how long should the cycle be? Well, how long is a piece of string? It will depend on you. I would advise no less than 3 weeks and probably no longer than 3 months. Okay, 3 months is a good period to train for an event, for example. It's also a really good period if you don't have events coming up and this is, you're just trying to get a structure in place. It's a really good lengthy period to actually focus on getting some real results. 12 weeks is, a decent amount of time to really focus in on your strength and nutrition, really focus in on your fat loss if that's a priority, or really focus in on your running performance. Okay, it's a good amount of time to actually give you the opportunity to do something. 3 weeks is the absolute minimum if you're trying to cycle through things as quickly as possible because your life is, that way. I don't know. Sometimes I like to cycle through 3-week cycles of having real focus on my nutrition. So like kind of a mini fat loss phase, if you like, where I'll track for 3 weeks. I'll really try and be disciplined. I'll eat, minimal unprocessed food for 3 weeks. And then because I don't have an overriding focus on fat loss, I haven't got stones and kilos to lose. But I kind of want to lean down a little bit. Or I want to bulk up a little bit, and I might use that 3-week kind of shorter window to do that. So there's just an example there about how that might be effective, but it's going to be dependent on you. What's always important when we're thinking about phasing and cycling is what are we actually focusing on, and how are we going to measure that focus? Okay, what is the metrics for this phase of training? And we need to put some robust metrics in place. We need to have measures, things that we're able to measure to ensure we're making progress. And that's as much of a psychological importance as it is from a physiological importance of making the changes that you want, adding muscle, dropping fat, whatever it might be. Okay, having those numbers in your head, having the weight to shift, having the muscle mass to add, having the plates on the bar to add, getting faster on your runs. These things are really, really important. So we know we're progressing, we know we're moving forward. Otherwise, we just become very, very stagnant, which in health means sliding downhill. Okay, the fourth one is about having some objective realism and getting it done. Okay, what is realistic for you? What is important for you? Where do you need to get to in the next 12, 24 months? Okay, what is the reality of your situation, and how can you objectively tell someone like me, a coach, that that is your truth? Okay, now I'm getting a little bit more esoteric with the bullet points here, but in order to get it done, we need to be real. Okay, so what is your kind of, what do you need to be focusing on? Okay, if you're in a hardcore marathon training block and you've got 3 stone to lose, what's that in kilos? Like 20 kilos or 15 kilo, probably 15 to 20 kilos. Is that the right thing to be focusing on? Okay, be real. Focus on what the most important thing is for you. And the final bit of all the information I've shared with you, I want to have that structure, and I'm providing that structure in this program. And you can just follow it step by step. That's my goal for you, is to have a templated approach that you can just follow step by step. Because I think otherwise we just think about too many things. We're looking at shiny objects. It just gets a bit mental. However, this is not your life. My life is not your life. No one else's life is your life. So you need to personalize the information that's coming in, build your own systems, and build your own processes so you get stuff done. Okay, and you need to make it personal so it actually lands for you as well, so you can buy into these things. That's really, really important. And the second part is you need to be accountable. Yes, you need to be accountable to yourself. That's really, really difficult to do. You need a very high level of discipline to be self-accountable. Okay, if you're not there with any of your goals when it comes to fitness and health, or if you're way off the mark, then maybe you need some external accountability. Maybe you need to start posting in the group, finding a training buddy, or getting a coach, someone who can actually hold you accountable and personalize the program so you have those guardrails in place and you're finally able to take action towards your results and get the result. That's the goal, is to get you where you need to be. Okay, nothing else really matters. And if you're not making progress, have a serious think about that last bullet point. Okay, that is all for now. I will see you on the next one.